So welcome. As you're coming in, drop your name in the chat so we know that we're here in the circle together. Um, so this is what I'm calling, Holly, welcome. Welcome to this moment. Really feel like welcome to right now. Welcome to where you're sitting. Welcome to this room, this very strange, maybe, but magical. We can still be together. It's so amazing. So welcome. We're going to do what I call, of course, meditation. And I'm going to take a few minutes to describe what that is, and then we'll sit quietly together. If you're coming in, please put your name in the chat so that we know who's here and we can feel the togetherness in it. So, of course, meditation. This is a practice that says, of course, you feel the way you feel right now. Of course, you're having the reactions and responses and the upset belly and the headache and the eye twitch. And of course you're not sleeping, or of course you're sleeping all the time. Of course you're tired. Of course, all of these things make sense. These are unprecedented times, and our little nervous systems are on the highest of alert. This is, Bob, welcome. This is completely new. We've never lived through anything like this. Of course you're confused. Of course you're scared. Of course you're frustrated. Of course you're disappointed. Of course you're angry. Of course you want to put your head in the sand. Of course you don't know what's going on. These are all totally natural. Of course, it makes total sense. Of course you're teary. Of course you snapped at that person. Yesterday, my hub walked into the room and I just hated him for a second, or like 4 minutes. And we had a little thing, and then he left the room, and I was able to just say to myself, of course, I'm so maxed out. And when our nervous systems, we call it stressed, and that means all kinds of things in the nervous system. And one of the things it can mean is that we've gone into survival mode, that the nervous system biologically has gone into survival, the brain. And of course we're buying all the toilet paper. Of course we're panicked. There's not going to be enough. What will I do? I have to get everything that I might need. It is survival time. So, of course, it's not helpful, which is why we're here. It's not helpful, but it's totally normal. And by validating that, by validating ourselves, by not making ourselves wrong or silly or stupid or shaming ourselves for it. I bought all the toilet paper and now everyone's making jokes about me and I feel like a terrible person. Double, triple whammies. No, of course you did that. It makes sense. Of course you ate the pint of ice cream. Anybody else doing some emotional eating? Of course. You can just say yes in the chat. Right now, food can feel like comfort, especially right now. Food can feel like love. Food can feel like security. No one's emotionally eating, just me. So this is to say, whatever your response is, whatever your behaviors are, whatever is coming up for you, of course, it's not wrong. Your systems, okay, thanks. Yes, okay. Of course, your systems are so wise. They're doing exactly as designed. So, of course. And when we validate, I just want you to feel for a moment, How does it feel to hear or to say to yourself, of course, oh, right, that mood I was in, that thing I did, the road rage, the tears I had, like, oh, right, of course, of course. How does it feel in your body? What happens across your shoulders? What happens in your gut? What happens with your breath? What happens with your sense of like being on the ground? So when we can do that for ourselves, because when we're in that shame place, when we're judging, when we're making ourselves bad or wrong for whatever's happening, we separate ourselves from ourselves. We separate ourselves from our wisdom, from our resilience, from our creativity, from our sense of connectedness and belonging. And those are the things that are going to get us through this. And so, like you would with someone you love, a dear friend or a little one, extending that hand of compassion, that warm hand of compassion to yourself, and saying, of course, can bring you back into a place of more relaxed state, more relaxed mind, more spaciousness, more ease, a place where we make better decisions from, a place where we don't increase our suffering. So, welcome. Thank you for being here, for being together. Oh, welcome. Welcome, friend. So we're going to sit with this idea. And, hopefully, if you're not feeling an increase of ease, that's okay too. My hope is, just with that warm hand, with hearing, of course, validating, reassuring ourselves that there is a contrast from how you maybe felt before or last night or yesterday to this moment. And those contrasts are so helpful. How did I feel before I got on social media for what was supposed to be 5 minutes and ended up to be 45? How did I feel after that? Oh, okay, so maybe that wasn't the best decision. How did I feel after I went for a walk? Okay, there's so much more space. So these contrasts can be really helpful and help us make decisions too. So getting in the gutter, into the weeds with it isn't bad, because then that's information. All right, so I'm going to set a timer, and if you need to adjust or settle, do. Make yourself completely comfortable. You could even lie down, sit in your favorite chair. And we'll practice this, of course, meditation, even in our sitting. So as things come up, of course you feel fidgety. Of course you feel distracted. Of course, you think it's dumb. Of course you don't want to be here. Of course, all the things. It's totally normal, totally natural. So even as things arise in the meditation, just of course, and see if you can stay, see if that softens, see if the contrast increases. So you can let the eyes close. You could look down, let the gaze get just really sort of unfocused. Feel what you're sitting on or what you're lying on. Let the breath move freely, spontaneously, easily. Let your skin soften, the surface layer of your skin. Let it get soft. And to whatever arises, maybe it's lovely, ease, relative calm. Of course, that too. You are strong, you are resilient. We are all things. Of course, the mind will wander. That's what the mind does. And it's not a problem. It's so easy to come back. Just feeling the togetherness, even though we're not in person, we're here together. Sometimes it's helpful to use a word or phrase to keep the mind more anchored. So you might try just this, just this. In this moment, everything is okay. Just this. Or you could try here. If the mind's really anxious about running forward, here. I'm here. Because of course, all of these things are swirling. Of course. And even if nothing's starting to settle, if you find yourself just itchy and distracted, of course, and that's also okay. It's the showing up, it's the being together, it's the doing it. And like a muscle, it will strengthen. We can build it. We can build the focus. And just that warm hand of course. Of course, it's hard today. Maybe there is a settling. Maybe there is release. Maybe it's both. And just feeling the movement of your breath. Noticing what the shape change is like. Where does your breath touch you, change you? Letting your body be soft so it can be malleable to the breath. So letting your attention surface slowly from the inner to the surface to the skin, and then gradually into the space that you're in, into this room that we're in together. And feel again if there's that contrast. What is it like right now to live in your body? What does that, of course, compassion feel like? And this is something you can take with you, of course. Take, of course, with you out into your day. Whatever the state is, if there's a sense of ease or any relative calm, you did that. You created that. It's in you and it's available all the time. So this warm hand of compassion to yourself and maybe even to others. Of course, they bought all the toilet paper. If you want to put your of course in the chat, Would love to hold your of courses. You can continue entering things even after the video is over, and I will read them and comment. Please take care of yourself in all the best ways. Tomorrow, meditation will be a little quieter. Our quiet time will be a little longer. And we're going to work with swirling, spiraling energy, and stuck energy, and how to come to some middle place from those two extremes. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.